1923 continues to leave us in limbo when it comes to the release date of its second season. But as far as the truth behind the show's filming process is concerned, we are getting more knowledge with every passing day. From controversial relationships to weird inspirations behind characters and the harsh training process to the emotional tolls that the actors go through, we have a lot to discuss today. So without further ado, let's dive in. First of all, we need to talk about the famous cowboy camp that all the Yellowstone universe actors have to attend to. In this camp, the actors go through an intense training process to turn into proper cowboys. Apparently, Taylor Sheridan is very big on this camp to the point that he expects to see full-fledged cowboys at the end of the camp. So, simply riding a horse is not enough. You need to embrace your cowboy persona. Speaking on her experiences in the cowboy camp, Helen Mirren previously expressed that initially, the thought of the camp and becoming a cowboy was overwhelming to her. I said at the beginning that I don't ride horses. I mean, I've been on the back of a horse many times, but I'm not a rider. I've never really learned properly how to ride. So Taylor had the great idea of putting me in a buggy. So I did have to learn how to drive a buggy, which was really great experience. That was my cowboy camp. So despite the difficulties, overall, cowboy camp is a good learning process for the actors. The reports suggest that it is also a great bonding opportunity for the actors ahead of the filming process. Zane Davis perfectly explains the importance of the cowboy camp for the actors in a previous interview. We got to have highs and lows together before we started, which actually was really good for bonding. We would all be terrible and then the next day progress. We all gotta be vulnerable. As adults, it's not easy to learn a new skill. Now, you may ask, how did Sheridan convince all these A-list actors to star in his project in the first place? Well, the reports suggest that Sheridan knows his way with words, to the point of being very convincing even without a script at his hand. Of course, his reputation as a good writer also plays into this, but still, his convincing talents deserve a massive shout-out, especially after knowing that both Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren agreed to star in the series without reading the scripts. Ford said, "I had faith the showrunners were going to deliver me a good script," and he further expressed that looking back, it is absolutely worth taking the risk. As far as the characters are concerned, even though none of them are based on real people, they all take inspiration from real people, but not the ones you expect them to. For instance, the character of Spencer Dutton is based on both Clint Eastwood and Humphrey Bogart. It is somewhat of a perfect combination of the two, representing the ultimate American man with a perfect dose of masculinity. Alexandra, on the other hand, is based on Princess Diana. In fact, Julia Schlaepfer watched a lot of royal family footage while training for the role to capture Diana's essence perfectly. We looked a lot at the royal family. I listened to a lot of clips of them. Ben Richardson, the director, and Taylor Sheridan, the writer, both gave me Princess Diana to look at because she's a bit quieter. But she has this quiet rebel in her, Flair is what we were looking for. All this preparation and shooting cost a lot to the showrunners, of course. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. In total, it cost $200 million to produce, making it one of the most expensive shows ever made. On the cost of the show, Sheridan said, "I would argue that 1883 was the most expensive first season of a TV show ever made. 1923 was much more expensive. Much more expensive." Part of the reason why it is so expensive is the fact that some scenes were filmed in Africa, Asia, and Europe, making it a huge project than it already is. But the show deserves every single penny as it takes about 14 days to shoot a single episode, which means that 1923 gets the movie treatment. And according to Sheridan, this is why it looks like a movie, referring to the show's quality, proving that it is worthy of all this money and time. 1923 became the most successful debut series on Paramount Plus ever. With its first episode, it attracted 7 million viewers, which is huge. Are you surprised to find out any of these fun facts about the show? Do you think the reason why it takes so long for season 2 to be released is the fact that the show is too damn expensive? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.